Whew. Tell me this, do you have things all wrapped up for Christmas? Hi, I'm Gina. Welcome to Hope and Cope. Here we explore biblical concepts and essential skills we need to have our best life in spite of pain and tragedy. Today's topic is the fourth in our series of preparing for the holidays, and today we're going to talk about preparing for Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and if you have, I just ask you to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, tell a friend about it, and leave me a comment in the comment section. Something else that helps my channel is if you stay to the end. So I do have a final point that I think is my best point. If you'll wait around for that, it would really be helpful. If you are like me, you have loved ones that are in an addiction. I know it affects you, and I know it hurts you. I know that it probably breaks your heart. You worry about them and you wish that there was something that you can do. But until they're ready, there just really isn't anything you can do to fix them. I feel like on the list of everything you can do to make your loved one seek recovery, I feel like I've tried everything, and none of them worked because it doesn't depend on me. So let's talk about the holidays. We're going to have some get-togethers, and some of your family members, they're just all different. Some will love to come, even though they have an addiction. They love their family. They feel accepted, and they appreciate the time that they get to be with family, and family loves on them and accepts them, and that means a lot to them. And other people, you couldn't drag them into a family gathering. They don't want to be around. They don't want to see your happy life. They don't want anybody asking them questions about what's going on in their life. But the ones that will come, I suggest that you receive them warmly. In previous videos, we talked about what if they are disruptive, what if they are violent, what if they make a scene. So I'm not really going to discuss that in this video, but I will link those other videos at the end or in the description box so that you can go back and look at them if you'd like. But if you have loved ones that want to come and they want to let you love on them and they want to let you show your joy, share some of your holiday spirit and your peace, then you don't know if your love for them, your acceptance of them, your attention and your kindness could be a way that the Lord could use you, so loving on them through you, and what an impact that could make in their lives. It may be heartbreaking to us to be with our loved ones in addiction, but try to understand that they might need to be where they are on their path. This might be a journey that they have to take in order to seek recovery, in order to even want to do something different. So try to just trust that they are where they need to be. I also want to suggest, I've made this suggestion before, but for the sake of this video, I wanted to say, restrain the urge to buy them gifts or give them money, even to their children. My experience, and from other people that I've talked to, they will sell the gifts you give them. They will take them back if they can. Even the children's toys, they will take them back to the stores and get money and buy drugs or alcohol. So I don't suggest you do that. If you want to give them a gift, you could buy experiential gifts. So that would be like a park pass, or take the grandchildren to the zoo, or the niece and nephews to the zoo. Take them yourself to the movies. Just do things like that so that those gifts can't be returned and used for their addiction. When we have loved ones in our lives that are in a serious addiction, it can cause us to reflect upon our actions, to maybe place blame on ourselves, to wonder where we went wrong or how we could have stepped up, how we could have helped them. Trust me, I know. I have been through this. I have loved ones that I would love to just rush out and rescue if I could, but it's very likely not anyone's fault. We take way too much responsibility for someone else's actions, for someone else's decisions. Most of the time, once people get sober, they will say, It didn't have anything to do with you. It was something internal. It was something broken about me. And so try not to take on guilt for someone else's addiction. We try to let our joy and our peace and our enthusiasm about God, about life, about the holiday, we try to let that shine through when we get to be with them. We want to make the most of that time and not be downcast ourselves. Another thing that's helpful is try to remember that as long as there is life, there is hope. So I have a story. I feel like the Lord just really taught me something so beautiful years ago. When my husband was in his addiction, I was at a meeting and a gentleman was giving a devotional, and his wife had recently passed. Within that year, had recently passed. And she had had some terrible sickness that lingered and lingered. And he had just a gut-wrenching story and, tried his best to turn it into a testimony and, how God was with him through the situation. And I felt so clearly that the Lord said in my heart, Gina, there is no hope for him. The hope for healing on this side of heaven has passed for him. But as long as your husband's alive, there is hope for him. And you need to live like there's hope. Don't live in the same despair as a man whose wife is passed away. And it really helped me to change my focus. It really helped me to realize that even if I don't see anything to hope in, and I don't know of anything about the addiction to be hopeful about, if he is alive, if she is alive, if the daughter is alive, the parent, the brother, the sister, the child, then have hope, because as long as there's life, there is a possibility for hope. I have heard stories of people literally coming back from the brink of death and finding recovery. So do not listen to the lie that there's not hope. I am not trying to give you false hope. I don't know, and I know many, many, many people die in their sickness, die in their addiction. And all the hope in the world doesn't change that, but it does change us, and it helps us to live a life that's more full. We have other people that love us, other people that are depending on us, and we have our own faith in God that we need to keep a strong hold on. And when we lose hope, that's the whole topic of this, the title of my channel is Hope and Cope. When we have hope, then it gives us the strength and the endurance for the things that we have to endure. So is this topic resonating with you? Do you have any comments? Would you like to share something and maybe help somebody else with your own experience? Leave that for us in the comments below. And my final suggestion to you, thank you for staying to the end, is don't rescue your loved ones. Before it's time, don't rescue your loved ones before it's time. We can pull them back from the brink of finding their bottom, their rock bottom, so that they themselves will want recovery. And we can just prolong their suffering. I know that's hard to believe, but we can literally prolong their suffering. And we can cause ourselves undue suffering when we try to rescue them, when we go in and pay those bills, when we spot them $100, when we lift them up and give them a false security. It just helps them to carry on in their addiction longer. And something I learned is the sooner they hit that bottom, as cruel as that is, the sooner they hit that bottom, the sooner they want to find recovery, the better off they'll be. The longer, the more years and years someone stays in recovery. And I'm sorry if I'm talking to you and your loved one's been in recovery 5, 10, 15 years. I am sorry to say something that's not encouraging, but the longer they're in their addiction, the more it gets a chance to just take a strong hold on them. So if your person is a year and a half, 2 years into their addiction, do not, in my opinion, my humble opinion, do not aid and abet their addiction. Let them find that it's a very unhealthy and unhappy and unsatisfying path, and let them find their bottom as quickly as possible. So try, even though we're in the Christmas spirit, we have a heart of joy, that we're in a spirit of gratitude and of giving, try not to falsely rescue. I'm not saying when they're ready and they call you and they say, I'm ready for recovery, I'm ready to get out of this lifestyle or whatever. Yes, show up, do that, help them. But don't falsely rescue and buoy and, facilitate their addiction so that they are in their addiction longer. But what we can do, I don't want to not give you hope. What we can do, though, is pray that God will send the right intervention, that God will send the right person at the right time, or the right message at the right time, or the right circumstances at the right time, and that will be the catalyst for them finding recovery. I would venture to say in many lives, the person closest is not going to be that person. It's going to be, for an alcoholic, it's going to be maybe another alcoholic. For a drug addict, maybe it's going to be another alcoholic or drug addict. It may be a run through a jail for a period of time. It can look really messy, but it might be exactly what that person needs. So we can pray with confidence that we are praying in alignment with God's will. I believe it's always God's will for people to be restored, for people to find Jesus, for people to be set free from their addictions, from their demonic oppressions and possessions, and to be restored to wholeness and health. These are things that we can know are God's will for people. So we can pray for that intervention, that God is going to send somebody, that it might not be me, but that God can send an angel, Lord God, send an angel to that person so that they can find recovery. So even if we are even if we can't be the one to do it, there's nothing that I can do to rescue. God is limitless in his resources. He is limitless in his resources, and he can absolutely bring a miracle into our loved ones' lives. So endure this time with hope, endure this time with faith. Don't give up. Pray, pray, pray. Do what you can. Reach out with texts or calls, leave messages, tell them you love them, send them scriptures, send them prayers. Assure them that they are not hopeless. Assure them that there's always hope. But at the end, we just have to realize that the decision to get recovery is up to them. Thank you for your time. I hope you found this content valuable. Please, again, like and subscribe and share with a friend. You'll always find a little more encouragement in the description box if you want to stick around and check that out. Please take a minute to leave a comment on my channel and let me know if there's any other topics that you would like for me to cover. Look for new content on Sundays. And until next time, God bless.